Hey you guys, this is Jason from SoCal Accessories. Today I'm going to be showing you guys step by step how to install the Yofer one-piece rear diffuser on the 2022 Honda Civic Sedan and up. This does not fit the hatchback model, it's for the sedan only. I'll be showing you guys step by step how to install this, how I lined it up to get the fitment to what I think is the best, and then how to remove this tail light so you can plug it in. Alright you guys, so whenever you install the rear diffuser, you want to make sure you clean the area that's going to sit with double-sided tape with rubbing alcohol. I suggest using like 50 or 70%. You spray that on a rag and then just clean this area where it's going to sit on so that the double-sided tape holds better. Same thing before you apply the double-sided tape to here. You could either primer it first, wait for the primer to dry, then apply the double-sided tape, or just put rubbing alcohol on the rag and at least clean that area where the double-sided tape is going to sit. Right now we're doing a non-SI. The video when I started making it was for an SI. This non-SI, this little plastic right here is different. So the diffuser was hitting it, so it's sitting kind of arched up. This side was sitting lower than that side. So on the non-SIs, what you're going to do is just remove this. You have a clip right here that you can remove with a clip remover or a flat screwdriver. You have two of them, so two clips there. From under the car, you get these tabs to pop out. You don't have to remove the bumper for this, but you get these tabs to pop out. So you have three tabs up here, one tab down there, and you kind of push it away from the car from underneath this way and it will pop out. Besides that, you have one Phillips screw right here. So you're gonna use a little short stubby Phillips screwdriver and you go from under the car and you put it in there and you remove that screw. Once you remove that and you pop this off, now the diffuser for the non-SI model should sit now that it has this arch right here. Because since this one doesn't have that arch for the exhaust, since this one's single exhaust, it was hitting and it was kind of sitting a little lopsided. So now we're gonna apply this. Hopefully this helps you guys out. Right, so we have another 11th gen at the shop right now. This one has backup sensors, so you don't want to make sure when you install the diffuser, you don't force it up super high where you're gonna be blocking those sensors. Also, this one doesn't have that cutout for the exhaust on either side. This one's either gonna sit lower, but then you're probably gonna have gaps, or to close up the gaps and put that height higher, you're gonna have to remove both of these. I just put a piece of masking tape where I believe it fits best for the height so that it gets rid of most of the gap on the corners. So on this side and the other side, come here, fool. I put a piece of masking tape. It's not gonna line up with this part, but with this corner. So from here on the inside, where I find that it fits the best is when this is basically lined up right in the center of that screw. Okay, so it's the same on both sides. And then to actually mount this, we're gonna be putting one screw here and another one lower down there on both sides. The wire's running down right here. I'll show you guys how we took off the tail light and where this is gonna plug into and where we're gonna zip tie it. And then also, let's remove this, push down. All right, so also on the inside, it comes with 3M tape, but we use a better 3M tape from Home Depot, the outdoor rated 3M Scotch tape. Before we apply the 3M tape, we find that it holds a lot better when you primer it with like 3M primer and then let it dry. That's just my suggestion so that it sits the best. For right here, it comes with a 3M gasket, well, a double-sided tape gasket to hold this light in place. That's the only thing that holds this. There's no screws. It was wobbling around when it was hitting the little insert where the indentation they had for it. So we actually drilled the hole there so that it could push in all the way and sit flush like it should. Then the wire runs through this gap that was already here on the bottom. So now we're going to be applying it, and I'll show you where we connect this and where we're going to zip tie it to avoid the exhaust so that the exhaust won't melt this cable. Okay. All right, you guys. So we're going to start off by peeling the corners of the tape. This is all applied as one piece, so we're going to peel both corners to around this area, and then I'm not going to peel the center till I make sure like it's lined up in place. If you're doing it like that, if you're not going to peel if you peel the whole thing at once, basically it's a lot harder because once it touches the car somewhere, it's going to stick wherever it's touching. So that's why I like peeling the corners first. I'm going to have these guys line up the corners where they should be with the blue masking tape, and then the center I'm gonna start peeling once I see that the center is lined up here. When you start peeling like that though, you wanna make sure you don't make the mistake of having this up like pretty heavy against the body of the car, because then there's too much pressure, and when you're starting to peel this centerpiece, that red part's gonna rip, and then it's a pain in the butt to try and get your finger or something in there to actually peel the rest of it. All right guys, so now that this is where the masking tape should be, I'm gonna push this half, and then I'm gonna finish peeling this. I'm applying pressure down here instead of the top, and I'm doing it slow so that it doesn't rip that red part. All right, after you do that, then you grab a rag or your hand and just apply pressure to this whole part where the 3M is supposed to be holding. After that, you're gonna put the 2 screws, the Phillips screws, on each corner. So Yofer gives you guys these black screws right here that you're gonna use to apply this. So I'm gonna have him pinch this part together, and this is lined up to the tape. Don't apply the screw here because you're gonna hit that OEM screw you have, so I'll do it slightly below. The easiest way is going to be with the angle bit like we're doing. If you don't have an angle bit and you have a straight bit, the screw's going to want to go like at an angle that way. It's not going to sit flush. Either that, or you're going to have to jack up the car and take off your rim if you have a straight bit to go like this if you want it to sit flush. Easiest way is with an angle bit like this. So now that that's lined up, we know we have some part of the body right here that could grab the second screw. So I'm going to go down a little further. And now that one's in and it's grabbing the body right there. So you're going to do the same exact thing on the other side. Alright you guys, also if you guys have OEM mud flaps, the mud flaps do have to come off. So it's going to be 2 Phillips screws there and then 1 right there on the bottom, so you can remove these to install the rear diffuser. So 2022 and up. So first you just pry something in here. I suggest a plastic pry bar so you don't scratch your taillight by using like a screwdriver. You got those 3 tabs that just need to pop outward. After that, you're going to remove these 2 screws. You could use a Phillips screwdriver, or that should be most likely like an 8mm to take that off. We'll take those off and then I'll show you what next. Okay. Alright, now we're going to be pulling this outward to pop it out of place. Don't pull too hard at an angle because you don't want to like snap this part of the taillight. Also, you could put a piece of masking tape right there. So we'll put a little piece of masking tape right there and then I'm going to pop it off. Now that we masked that spot up a little bit, you're going to pull out and it has to pop this way towards me. So you want to try wobbling it. There you go. And these 2 pins just have to pop out from here. So this doesn't pull back. You want to pull it towards you like you see, and you wiggle it, and that does help it pull out a little bit instead of you just yanking it. If you yank too hard this way, you'll end up having this go into this indentation and you'll most likely snap that, which you don't want to do. Okay guys, so to install the Yofer rear diffuser, you're going to unplug this one. This is for your parking light and brake light. And then the harness they give you, you're going to plug it into here. And then you plug this where the OEM harness was. And then this cable is going to drop down because this is going to plug into the rear diffuser. When you put this down, if yours has an exhaust on this side, make sure you do not let this touch your exhaust. So you want to zip tie it somewhere under the car where it's not going to be in the way. So we're going to run this down. You could run it down through this gap, or you also have a gap right here that you could run it down through. Whatever's more convenient or whatever you prefer, I guess. So you drop that cable down and then you're going to plug it in from the bottom. And to put the taillight back, you just line up these 2 tabs. We're going to peel the tape before so that it doesn't get stuck behind the taillight. So you're going to want to hear this snap in place. Once you hear it snap in place, you put back these 2. After you tighten those 2 Phillips screws, you're going to put this plate back in, which basically these 2 tabs need to pop straight back, and then these 3 need to pop back into these 3 tabs that are right here. And then you're gonna wanna hear this click too once you put the 2 screws back on. Alright you guys, so the cable that's running from the tail light on top, it goes right here, and this is the part that plugs in for the rear diffuser light. Besides that, to keep it away from the exhaust, this is another cable for something else, for the RGB underglows. But basically this is just bundled up right here, and it's zip tied so that it doesn't have sag, so it doesn't rip or drag, or this piece doesn't sag down this way towards the exhaust and end up melting. So you're gonna make sure you put this somewhere safe like this so that it doesn't drag and rip off or burn on your exhaust. For this cable that's running to the rear diffuser, you're gonna put 4 screws on the bottom to hold this. So when you put that, make sure this wire is not somewhere right here where you end up drilling into it. Make sure that you move it out of the way. So you have 4 little slots like this, 2 in the middle where you're gonna put the screws that they supply you with, and then you have 1 on each corner. So it's a total of 4. Alright you guys, so hopefully this video was helpful for you guys on how to install the Yofer rear diffuser on the new 2022 and up Honda Civic sedan. If this video was helpful for you guys, if you could please like the video and subscribe to the channel for more. Thanks.